Today is the 8th day of the 8th month in the year 2023. It's a glorious Tuesday morning. We'll be giving away cold hard cash this morning, like we have been doing since last Friday when we were in Medina. Star 439 hash. Make sure you choose option 1 for 3FM. Like I always say, if you don't play, good morning to you,
Good morning,
Crosby.
Helen. Good to see you again
Good
on a
to see
Tuesday
you.
morning.
This haircut day, you have to explain what it is.
Well, I don't know whether it's like people like it.
Hey, at your fans.
But it just happened. My baba was not, another baba decided to shave.
Oh, you were cheating on your barber.
He was not there. He was not there.
Okay. So it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, it was not
Because I know for men, you try and stick to the same
Yes,
barber, right?
yes. Particularly because of issues concerning your hairline. If you
Okay.
look, you won't get it again. So
Ah.
when you get a barber who is able to deal with it
Okay.
well for you, then you
I
like to stick
understand.
with it.
So
And
you
if it's
fi-
not there, and then you have to shave it. You can't do it yourself.
You can do okay. So you find a barber that understands the landscape of your head.
Exactly, the contours,
Yeah.
the curves. and
Hey,
all of
not
that.
the contours and the
Crosby when
curves.
he was on Metro TV.
No, I didn't have the pleasure.
You missed
And Sixtus, I
his
missed
glory
it.
days.
Why? What was the hair like?
Oh, the hair was a signature mark.
The big afro?
Oh, Charlie.
Hey.
Charlie.
Okay. I mean, sometimes you do
Non-negotiable.
see him with the Afro
I'm
Pro Max.
surprised that in his contract to enter into this building, he agreed to do away with the hair.
I see.
I mean, that was a mark. That
Man
was
must
a mark.
live.
Crosby, I'm going to find one of such pictures of you in your glory days with your afro. But Sixtus, what about you? Do you ever cheat on your barber by going to another barber?
No, I'm very strict on that.
Loyal.
I'm very loyal on that. Yeah.
I know men don't compromise. Like Crosby was saying, you have to find somebody who understands the landscape of your head.
Because I can't afford to be telling you all the time what I want.
Okay.
Yeah. And also I'm picky. I look at environment, I look at your setup,
Okay.
I look at even you.
Okay.
Yeah.
If your barber's haircut is not looking good,
No,
you
no,
don't
no.
venture.
If your haircut needs a haircut, you can't be giving me a haircut.
Samo.
Don't worry.
3FM Sunrise.
Don't worry, be happy. You are in absolutely safe hands. *439#. Don't forget, if you don't play, you don't win. I've given you the warning already. So let's play and let's win some cold hard cash this morning. Let's jump straight into the dailies. The Ghanaian Times this morning: towards efficiency, upholding fiscal discipline in public emergencies. We will be faithful with public resources. Finance Minister vows as he launches policy documents. I was watching this yesterday, and I thought we need a ceremony to announce that we're going to be disciplined, to announce,
But we are a continent of ceremonies.
I thought this goes without saying. You've launched a policy document. Yes, anyway. Maybe my gripe.
One of PLO Lumumba's lectures, one of his famous lectures, he says that Africa, we are a dancing continent. When we gained independence, we danced. When we did this, we danced. And when we overthrew Kwame Nkrumah, we danced. We're a dancing people.
We are a dancing people.
Yes.
Dancing.
I mean, we look for the least opportunity to dance so we can blow and come back to say we are broke.
So, I mean, we are showcasing our culture through dance.
Maybe my gripes with this are misplaced. The story is on page 12. We'll get into that and examine the details. 602,000 plus candidates begin BECE nationwide, 51 prison inmates included. Indiscriminate sand winning along shorelines. Ghana risks losing beach tourism. Potential if ... I'll tell you who's speaking there. KNUST student allegedly stabbed to death by colleague. This happened yesterday, we're told. Very sad news indeed. KNUST launches campaign for 200 million cedis to expand campus accommodation. The Daily Graphic this morning: BEC takes off smoothly. 57 prisoners, juvenile inmates sit exam. And there's a picture here to go along with that story. 2022-2023 scholarships. Get Fund gives to more local students. On the back page of the Daily Graphic, 3 hospital staff arrested for stealing medicines, and government disburses 20.88 million cedis to 199 women-owned businesses. Well, today is Tuesday, so we'll have another womanpreneur in the studio. Do stay tuned, gentlemen.
Let me just continue from there. On the front page of the Daily Graphic, captured under page 6, it says 3 busted for hospital drug theft, and it comes with a picture of 3 persons, car boot opened with the boxes displayed. And the banner headline on the Daily Graphic says Mahama jabs Nana after blowing $200 million on Saglame project. Listen, no. Mahama jabs Nana after blowing $200 million on Saglame project. You have to be able. Nobody's clean. You have to be able to decode the headline.
Oh, okay. Sixes, please decode this for us. Decode this for us.
We will come back.
All right.
No, but you see, sometimes you have to admire the creativity of the journalists.
Yeah.
You know, on the surface of it, Mahama is dishing out blows to President Akufo-Addo. But the line that follows says, after blowing $200 million on Saglame. So whilst Nanado, President Mahama is jabbing President Akufo-Addo, the editor is jabbing President Mahama.
Yes.
Do you get it?
I get it.
Who should understand who blew the $200 million?
And still on the same page, front page Daily Guide. Highest ranked NDC member, my speaker. I'll be interested in this story. And NPP special polls ready. We'll be seeing who is leading the charts. And Ato Forson drops trial judge allegation. On the back page of the Daily Guide newspaper, GMPC's Ghana's fastest finals hits Cape Coast. And you have Spurs reject Kane bid, 100 million. I'm sure that you, the sports people, you are very much interested in this. But one story that pains me a lot, Helen Dems. England ends Nigeria World Cup dream. So sad.
I know,
So sad,
I know.
so
See,
sad.
but
I was really rooting for the Nigerian ladies.
I was rooting for the Lionesses, and they did very, very well. England. Anyway, I mean, the Nigerians also fought hard, but I don't know. Jollof was negative for them. World Cup negative. I mean,
No, they tend to lose a lot when it comes to
But we move. Crosby, you have something for us on the front page of the Finder. But before that, actually, Crosby, how is Dr. Koto's campaign going?
Oh, he's doing very, very well.
Nice.
He's making inroads. He's getting some delegates.
The way Helen is taking interest in Dr. Koto, we need to bring him.
Well, actually, it's Crosby who I think has taken. He was there on the grounds when I think you were there when he went to pick his forms,
he picked his forms
with some farmers.
Some farmers picked it for him.
Oh, they picked it for him.
Yeah,
Okay,
so he received
okay.
it at his office.
But the man is a farmer.
When he submitted his
Oh, I
forms,
see.
He's a farmer. So
we're with him throughout. So
okay.
we are his friends. All
Oh,
of us,
sure,
right?
sure. We'll be coming to you for
Crosby, we're
updates.
doing your job. Don't come and say that. Please.
We are seeing the next presidential affairs correspondent under President
Have you
Akoto.
seen his WhatsApp status?
No, do tell.
Go and look.
Let me go and have
The man says
go
he'll
and
be vice
have a
president one day.
Who's going to be vice president? Crosby?
I'll check his WhatsApp
I didn't
Yeah.
just say vice president. I'll be vice president of Ghana.
Of Ghana.
In fact, he said, I shall.
That's why these days I'm trying to party
That was
Crosby more.
deliberate.
Yes.
Yes.
It was deliberate. I mean, you speak it into fruition.
Thank you.
You say it.
Thank you.
On the front page of the Finder newspaper, it says Africa Bar Association confers Medal of Merit Leadership Award on President Akufo-Addo. You know what the award is for? It's for good governance, fight against corruption, and issues like that.
Oh, sure.
Also on the front page of the paper, I can bet on Alan's victory. Ejusuman Hene is saying. There's also Shraj spent 2.1 million cedis wrongly. Auditor General orders recovery and refund. They spent it wrongly.
Yes, Debesia.
We understand.
Okay, and so we understand.
So you and the Finder paper on the same page.
Twins.
2023 BEC takes off smoothly in Accra, the story on page 4, and Get Fund disburses 25.2 million cedi scholarship grants to 4,279 students. The story is on page 6 of the Finder newspaper.
All right, well, incoming vice president, thank you for that. I went on Crosby's page. I didn't see the status, but I did see the profile picture. It's not easy.
Tola.
Have a look at that. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Let's start from the center.
I just want to be administrator in charge of the office of the vice president.
That is a mouthful. I don't know what your role would be, but Crosby will find a way to slot you in there. Can we begin from the center spread of the Ghanaian Times this morning? Towards efficiency, upholding fiscal discipline in public emergencies. We will be faithful with public resources, Finance Minister vows as he launches policy documents. Now, 2 policy documents to promote efficiency and accountability in the use of public financial resources during emergencies were yesterday launched in Accra by the Minister of Finance, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta. They are the Emergency Expenditure Management Guidelines and the Audit Recommendations, Implementation and Follow-up Instructions for Public Institutions, developed under the Ghana Resilient Development Policy Operation, DPO, Standard Procedure SOP of the World Bank. The documents are designed to provide a clear, transparent framework for how to respond to crisis and uphold fiscal discipline in public emergencies, as well as improve public accountability, developed by the Ministry of Finance, led by the Internal Audit Directorate, the Ghana Health Service, the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Health, the Controller and Accountants General Department, and the Internal Audit Agency, and the Ghana Audit Service. The instructions provide criteria and a basis for the categorization of audit finding and recommendations to enhance the audit follow-up process, data analysis, and dissemination. What a mouthful. A lot of big words that I've just spewed there. Mr. Syed, do you care to break it down for us?
This one, the long and short of everything is that the World Bank is the IMF. Is it the IMF? Right?
That's right, you're correct.
The IMF is telling them what to do, and they have no option. No, I mean, they have no option. So they're all the English.
Yes.
They have no option to be disciplined because it is there. From the first word to the last word that you read, the summary is that we are giving you the money in what? Tranches.
That's right.
So behave. Finish.
Thank you for decoding
Wrap up.
that message for us, Mr. Siedu. And yesterday, as I said, I was watching it and I thought, this is a big ceremony to tell people to get their act together, to audit.
No. It is not getting any act together. They are just obeying.
You mean there's no act to be?
No. They are just, see, that's the point. They are just obeying the paymaster. They've given you a loan. And they say we won't give you all the 3 billion cedis because you are a spendthrift. Yeah, that's the word.
Yes.
Prophylactic. So we'll give you in tranches, but these are the conditionalities. Behave. Other than that, the rest don't. Then you come and announce what that you will be. You don't have an option, and that's a sad one because all these individuals at the IMF, the kind of schools they've attended, and the kind of knowledge they have, the kind of intellectual intercourse that they have. Our professors here, our experts here have the same thing.
That's right.
And we've been speaking about the same things. So we don't listen to them. We only listen to the IMF when they come in. And that's why we've gone there 17 times plus.
Oh, William, even the political leadership has the same qualification. I mean, if you
see,
that's the one thing that we don't joke with in this country when it comes to appointment. You look at the people who are assembled for national assignments, and you can.
The credentials are long.
They are from the Princetons and the Yales, and they are there.
For that, we don't joke with it as a country. It's always. That, I mean, you cannot ridicule any appointee. I mean, well, there are those who are there. But I mean, when you look at all the
on the average,
look at all the serious sectors. Pardon my French, and the people who head those sectors. I mean, these are not men and women you can take for granted. No, these are people who have distinguished themselves in various spheres of life, in academics, in some of them in industry. And so you wonder what happens to them. What happens?
So why can't they replicate the successes they chalked?
It's a spiritual problem.
Honestly, that is a question for the gods.
But you see, this subject that Crosby is putting on the table is a very huge one because culture and development are very well connected.
That is very true.
And it's something that we don't take seriously. The culture of the African, the Ghanaian, towards a lot of things, we have to change.
I agree with that, William.
We have to change because, look, in the West, some of the things that they do to get where they are, we cannot do them. We tell ourselves that we cannot do them. But until we have the courage to change some of these things, I mean, we will always be where we are.
And I agree with William because, for example, you often cite the example of somebody coming into power and now their entire family is depending on them. All of a sudden, you have to park your ethics. You park your own innate ministry.
But your paramount chief has led a delegation to your vetting. You get approved into an office, and you turn around and tell your paramount chief that you are an ethical being. You are bound by professionalism. Are you serious?
So what William is saying, culture and development, they are intertwined, and that is what we're dealing with at the moment. I want to stick with the finance minister. I want to get your thoughts, gentlemen, when he says we have turned a corner. Are you feeling that corner turning in your pocket?
That discussion is still on it.
Oh yes, because no, because
we haven't even seen the corner.
Thank you. And I wanted to revive it this morning because we're often accused of, letting issues slip. They say, hey, the media. And this particular one, I kept thinking about it over the last 24 hours. And thinking about my own personal economy, how I haven't seen, like William is saying, I can't even see the corner. To turn a corner.
Some of us, we're still in the corner.
We're still in the corner.
Our pockets are still
Others
in the
are
corner.
still reaching the bend.
All right.
But still with the ministry, on page 9 of the Daily Guide newspaper says government extends domestic dollar bond deadline. The government has extended the deadline for the domestic dollar bonds originally scheduled to end on August 4, 2023 to Friday, August 18, 2023. A statement from the Ministry of Finance said in response to feedback received from eligible holders for more time to secure internal approvals to participate, government announces its extension for the invitation to exchange the bonds to August 18, 2023, and that's a quote, adding that the announcement date will be on or about August 21, while the statement date is expected on August 20. Settlement date, I beg your pardon, is expected on August 25, 2023, or as soon as practicable. So we are turning the corner.
All right. This one, I'm shifting gears a little bit. This story is captured on 3news.com, and do check out 3news.com. We've got the latest in business, entertainment, sports, world news, you name it. Agalga tells government to seek parliamentary approval before deploying troops to Niger. The temperature is rising as concerns the happenings in Niger. Now, if the decision is taken by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to deploy troops to Niger to restore democracy, Ghana must seek parliamentary approval before contributing the troops to support ECOWAS. A member of Parliament for Bulsa North, James Agalga, has said. Mr. Agalga, who's a ranking member on the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament, explained that deploying troops to another country amounts to declaring war against that country. Hence, any such action to be taken by the government of Ghana should require parliamentary debate and approval or otherwise. Now, as the temperature, as I said, continues to rise in Niger, I believe there's a meeting scheduled in Nigeria for Thursday, to pave the way forward. I don't know whether we're...
I think, first of all, ECOWAS was a little bit in a rush. You understand?
Why do you say that, Crosby?
So there are a lot of reasons why ECOWAS would want to intervene in a country to, if you like, restore law and order.
Right.
In this situation, for instance, there is no direct threat, according to some experts, of Niger to other countries. If other surrounding countries in Niger, who are also members of the ECOWAS, were being threatened with what is going on in Niger, then ECOWAS could be well within its rights to, if you like, intervene or invade the country to try and, restore democracy and all of that, to oust the coup leaders. But that is not happening, according to some experts. So, first of all, they should have approached this with some more levels of dialogue, maybe different approaches. The sanctions are not working. And then ECOWAS is also refusing to pay attention to the triggers of the coup. Oftentimes, the attention is only on the coup when it happens. But coups don't happen in vacuums.
That's right.
They fester for long. They build up for years, for months, for weeks before they happen. And then if ECOWAS, as some say, is not too serious, if it were, then it would realize these things were beginning to happen. We're on the path of a coup. Then we intervene as early as possible so that the triggers of the coups do not happen. We don't wait for it to happen and then we take a wrong decision to intervene militarily and then puts the entire sub-region in some forms of uncertainty. Because as it stands, a lot of countries do not know who to align with. Plus, the Western world, the larger international community. Now, Niger is more towards Russia. France is being kicked out. China is also in the picture. It's just a whole lot of, pictures we're painting here, and we really do not know what is happening with ECOWAS, what the leaders are saying. And then we should also bear in mind that the intervention that ECOWAS says it wants to have in Niger, it may not, happen in the next day, in the next few weeks or anything like that, because political deadlines, we understand, are not the same as military deadlines. The deadline that ECOWAS gave to Niger to reinstate President Bazoum was, according to some, was a political deadline. So it does not mean that because the deadline has elapsed after Thursday's meeting, maybe Friday, ECOWAS is going full guns blazing in Niger. No, that's not what is supposed to happen. So I think there are a lot of dynamics to all of these things. It boils down to African leaders.
I agree, and I want to bring it back home. Are we sending troops to Niger?
We cannot.
We will.
I mean, if
ECOWAS is going,
we intend,
we
if
shall.
we intend to, I mean, the rules are there. We need to
Yeah.
go back to Parliament and
Yes, which is a conversation now. But
Yeah.
but do we want to, not just as Ghana, okay, do we want to contribute troops to such a mission
Yeah, that's for
as
the-
a sub-region? Is that the way we want to go?
Yeah, but
I
that's,
mean,
that's something
well,
for
we have chastised ECOWAS and AU for long for empty threats, for not standing up against insurgents and all of that, and coups and all of those things. I recall the other coup that happened, was it Mali or
all of them
Guinea,
happened within
where
the
they
last 2 years.
ECOWAS issues an ultimatum, it comes to pass, nothing happens, no one hears anything again. But now we have a leadership, a sub-regional leadership that wants to show strength. So let's
Look,
support.
the leadership
Yeah.
that wants to show strength, they don't have any grounds for showing that strength. Look at what is happening in Ivory Coast.
Have faith
And
now.
the disappointment I've had is with that gentleman, Alassane Ouattara. This was a, solid man who came with you chased somebody out and you came and you have sought a third term. Twisted the
In fact,
And
in
we
fact,
don't-
he
we don't
got-
hear
he
from
got-
the ECOWAS.
He
We
got
don't
the
hear from the
entire
ECOWAS.
region backing him in that
if
conflict.
this is
Yeah.
Everybody was rooting for him. That's
That's
the
right.
irony of it.
constitutional coup d'etat.
That's the irony of it. Everybody was rooting for him,
Yeah.
only for him to come in and
Yes.
do the same thing.
Yes, and we have had
Yeah.
too many constitutional coup d'etat. So if we say we are not going to allow anybody to overthrow the constitution or twist the arms of parliamentarians to change the constitution, we must stick to that. Because these are the things that give grounds to some of these adventurers to just take up arms and come and disturb the sub-region.
It's something that we'll be keeping an eye out and we'll expand the conversation further. Is the ECOWAS complicit in what is happening in the Sahel and in our region? We'll talk more about it. Johnny's Bite will be coming up very shortly. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And it's still *439#. If you don't play, you don't win.